Clearly, I'm not in a position to record. I'm off work tonight. I've been drinking a little bit, but some shit's on my mind, man. Like I think about some of the homies that in my past that have passed away for whatever reason, whether it's natural causes, drug addiction, or whatever. But some people in my life that left an impact on me that I didn't realize at the time the impact that they would leave on me years later.
And I heard him say, nothing's ever promised tomorrow today.
So the first nigga I'm gonna talk about is my homeboy, my dog, my nigga from like 6 years old on until he passed away at 33. Buggy. That's his nickname. Buggy. Tuss. Terrence Arthur Kincaid was his, government name. But he was so much more than that. I know you guys have probably seen the movie Friday Night Lights. Remember Booby Miles? The guy that people really didn't know personally, but they knew on Friday nights, he lit the whole town of Odessa, Texas up with their 5A football. Running back. Every time you came and paid your little money to watch the game, you knew that you got your money's worth. This guy was everything that he was. He was everything that people said he was, the myths, the legends that you heard through word of mouth. He was one of the few people that you could hear shit about, hear crazy myths about, and then actually believe them when you see them. Because 9 times out of 10, they were actually probably true. He was something else. I met Buggy back in I met Buggy back in 97, 96, either in first or second grade at Marion Elementary, Marion, North Carolina, McDowell County. We followed each other, through school, all the way through elementary years, through junior high years, when we started playing football together, 2004, East McDowell Junior High School, McDowell County, Marion, North Carolina. He was the running back, broke every fucking record there was. Every team we played, there was nothing to do. I didn't even have to block as a wide receiver. They'd throw him a running play to the left or the right. I'm on the far right end or the far left end, supposed to block in front of him. Didn't have to. He was such a beast that motherfuckers were literally scared to tackle him. Then it got to the high school years. By then, I was fucking up. My pop said I had to have a C plus to play sports, which, the most people was like, that's nothing. I was in drugs. I was into the bitches. I was into working and making money, stacking bread, illegal bread on the side. So I can give a fuck about sports, which I should have looking back now as an older age. But back then, he was he was the definition of goddamn Friday Night Lights. Every fucking Friday, Saturday, it don't matter if they played home or away. You knew the McDowell High Titans running back, Terrence Kincaid, Buggy, was getting at least 200, 300 plus yards. Sometimes almost 5. Ridiculous shit. Video game numbers. My boy had fucking scholarship offers from every college in the country. It's not my business to get into why that didn't work out, but just know that he was the real deal from my word of mouth. I wouldn't lie to you. Fast forward 10, 15 years later, 18 years later, in some of my previous videos, I mentioned that while I was homeless, January 2024, February 2024, living in a hotel in Asheville, North Carolina, I received a message that Buggy had overdosed on those fake fucking fentanyl pills. And not only that, to add insult to injury, his fucking child found him. His youngest son found him. Assuming thought he was asleep, but he couldn't wake his daddy up. In all of my clean chronicles and all of my bullshit, trying to get clean, relapsing, trying to get clean, relapsing, before I got to the point I am now, back when I was literally going through a labyrinth trying to figure myself out, when I heard that news in a hotel room with the videos that I showed y'all, when I showed you the videos of Shannon overdosing and, nodding off on the bed and shit. I'm not sure exactly the name of the video, but 1 or 2 videos back, I have that footage. I was in the hotel room recording that footage. Literally, while I was recording him sleeping and nodding off on the side of the bed, my phone, and it was somebody messaging me that Buggy had passed away. My whole entire world stopped at that moment. I'm homeless. Had been 90 something days clean from fentanyl, overdosed to, 90 something days before then, had been through rehab, been through a sober living, got kicked out for some bullshit that I definitely did not do, being honest. And now I'm in a hotel room trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. I've done relapsed, my 90 something days is gone. I'm going through the worst, didn't care about my life, figuring what's the worst that could happen. And then I get a text that the worst that could happen happened to somebody else that you know. So niggas, stop what you're doing. Stop. Stop. Or you're gonna be dead. This nigga had a name 10 times bigger than the name that I've ever had. You could say my name out loud in my hometown and people will be like, who's that? His name, and keep in mind, we graduated 2008. In 2024, you can mention his name. Kids and people that's going to the actual high school we went to where he broke the records, parents, people in the city that actually mean something to have a name. You could mention his name in 2024 and they automatically know who the fuck Buggy is. And now this nigga is fucking deceased. Dead. Keep in mind, I used to go to his crib damn near every other day buying those off of him. Knowing they're unprescribed, knowing somebody's making these and pressing them at home. You don't know which one has the lethal amount of fentanyl in it. All I knew at the time was that fentanyl, the overdose amount, was equivalent to 3 grains of salt. 3 grains of salt. Think about what you're snorting when you think you're sniffing powder or anything you sniff. Xanax bars, whatever. 3 grains of salt. You can barely see that. So the whole time I was buying this shit from this nigga, I could have had any one of those at any time and I could have been him, given the circumstance. I would have overdosed at home in my bedroom. Nobody would, thought I was sleeping when it came upstairs to wake me up, anything. All this is going through my mind when I hear that Buggy's dead. And I'm thinking, like, dude, you have so much more potential than anybody that I've ever met, and you're fucking dead. And you the plug. If you dead, who the fuck am I? I was honestly happy because, like I said, I was homeless. I had just relapsed on fucking fentanyl. So I had no room to point fingers. But like I said, put yourself in my shoes. You know you're doing wrong. You know you're disappointing your family. You're trying to be sneaky. You've lost all hope for life. And then you hear this news. And to me, that was God giving me a wake-up call. Like, nigga, you think life could be worse? You think that your life couldn't get much worse? You think this is as bad as it can be in a hotel homeless in Asheville? Nigga, you could be dead and your child finding you. That fucked me up. He's one of the main reasons why I've never touched fentanyl ever since the day I heard that news. R.I.p Buggy, TERRANCE KINCAID. I love you, dog. I love you, homie. Hope everything's all good up there. The next person that I ain't gonna say that the impact of my life, but that made me think about life differently was Devante Garrison. I'm almost 35 now. Keep in mind this happened 8-9 months ago. He was 32 when he passed. His mother, not his son, his mother found him dead in his room. I guess he had visited her or something because he didn't live there. But the next morning she found him dead. While I'm in Asheville, after I found out the news of Buggy, I heard this shit. So it's like a double whammy. It wasn't as heartfelt because, no disrespect to the dead, love you, Devante, that's real shit. I wouldn't say it if I didn't. We didn't get along. He was like a real cocky type dude. I'm not going to talk shit on somebody that can't defend themselves, but he was just a different type of dude. For whatever reason, we didn't get along. We almost got into fist fights outside of his house when I was meeting him to buy stuff from him. And I'm a very humble dude. But regardless of whoever was the start of the problem, whatever, it's the fact that this nigga's dead. He don't deserve that. Neither did Buggy. I've made mistakes in my life. I don't deserve to die from the mistakes that I made. I don't want to be selfish enough to say that God let these guys make their own choices to pass away because I needed a wake-up lesson or a learning lesson. That sounds horrible to say that these guys died to show me something. But I also know that a wise man once said that a smart man learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from someone else's mistakes. And I put myself in those shoes. After Devante passed away, this is the second guy in my hometown that I was buying stuff from. I heard through the grapevine that he had quit for months and then decided that, the demon got on his shoulder, pulled him back. He decided to get some more, not for personal use, but, disperse them, to sell them. He had kids to make money. He probably had an honest vision in mind because he had quit them. And I guess that demon got on his back and he fell victim to some shits. And they took him out of this world too. It still feels unreal. It's been less than 9 months since both of these niggas have died. But this is Buggy, my nigga, 33 years old, forever young, R.I.p. And this is Devante. He passed away at 32 and had children. Both of them did. I think Buggy had 2 boys. Devante had twins and maybe another kid or so. I'm not sure. R.I.P. But yeah, some days I get in my feelings and I be thinking about this shit. Like, whenever I get too cocky or start getting too deep in drugs or getting too deep in whatever I'm in, knowing what all God has brought me through, I realize that God gives us choices every day. It's up to us to go left or to go right. He gives us the free will to choose left or right every day, whatever that means to you. A lot of people went right too many times. A lot of people didn't go left enough times. Understand that God puts you on this earth. He's not going to protect you 100% of the time from your crazy choices. Your choices lead to consequences. Learn from somebody else's mistakes. Be the wise man. It's okay to sit back and reflect sometimes on what we've been through. But yeah, R.I.p Buggy, Terrence Arthur Kincaid, R.I.p Devante, Devante Garrison. I'll see y'all again one day, y'all. Make money, live life, dodge drama. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe.
And I heard him say, nothing's ever promised tomorrow today, but we'll find a way.